Some were so funny and some helped me correct the grammatical errors. Thank you so much. So, as for the announcement, FicFun asked me to exclusively publish #ISP on their website/app. I did a lot of thinking and emailing back and forth with them to finally come to a conclusion, which is yes, I will do it. That's why I told you guys, if you want to reread the book or know someone who might like this book, it's better to start rereading/recommending it now. I sadly have to take #ISP down from Wattpad in a month. I will only leave 5 chapters up. #ISP will be taken down from Wattpad on August 13, 2018. FicFun will have the complete and edited version of #ISP. You can always go there to reread it anytime you want. Link: https://www.ficfun.com/novel/1. The link is also in my bio. Once again, thank you guys so much for the votes and the comments. They truly made my day. Lots of love. Lency XOXO. 6. Important date: August 15, 2018. Chase Me, Amari's story. I could see the pain flicker in his eyes when he finally said, "I don't think I can be friends with you anymore, Amari." Amari Vasilios, the CEO of the fast-growing advertising company in California, got her heart broken by her best friend 5 years ago. She never thought that out of all the people, her best friend, Zane Shaw, would be the one who would break her heart first. Only because of a girl he had known for 4 months. She was livid, and she still is. She ignored and tried to avoid him as much as possible, and for the past 5 years it worked. But now she's staring at the invitation letter in her hand. It was a wedding invitation from her brother and his fiancée. She had to go home. She had to go back to New York and attend the wedding. Attending the wedding means seeing him again. Attending the wedding means seeing the person she had successfully avoided for 5 years. Hey guys, so as you can read, Amari's story will go up on August 15, 2018. I do have a request. If any of you know someone, or if you can make book covers, I would love to receive some. I suck at making covers. I will definitely give you credits for your work. All covers can be sent to my email, it's in my bio. If your cover will not be the front cover of the book, I'll put it in one on the chapters. XOXO. Lency. 7. BONUSCHAPTER Milan POV. Mom, Dad, I'm home. I yelled as I opened the door of the huge mansion. I heard footsteps upstairs, and before I knew it I got jumped by someone with long hair that went straight into my eyes. Mom, Dad. Millie Billy is home. Amari yelled as she screamed in my ear. I winced in pain as I tried to push her off me. Jesus, Amari, can you now let go of me? I groaned out. My whole body was still sore from the last game, and having Amari jumping on me made it even worse. She let go of me and narrowed her eyes before letting out a disapproving sound. Aren't you happy to see me, Millie Billy, or should I say King? The sarcasm was dripping from her voice. Very cute. I chuckled and ruffled her hair. I know she hated it when I did that. I'm more than happy to see you. I'm just a little sore. Of course. She rolled her eyes at me. Your last game was what? 8 hours ago? I nodded my head and grinned at her. She watches my games even though she doesn't understand shit. Yup. 2 goals by me. I know, I watch every game of yours. Amari said, totally surprising me. Milan? My mom came down the stairs. I looked up at her. Every time I see her, she gets even more beautiful. It's like the woman does not even age. You are home. Congratulations on the win. I walked over towards her and gave her a big hug. Thanks, Mom. How are you? I have been doing well. She smiled warmly at me and my heart immediately melted. Mom was the most sweetest person in this world. When I come home, I finally feel normal again. I didn't feel like I was pressured. Home was my haven. New York was the place where I could be myself. Where there was no paparazzi, no coaches running after me, and no contracts. Damn, those contracts. For 2 years now, famous clubs were eager to sign me. I'm talking about clubs like FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, and many more. Do you see my problem? These clubs do not take no as an answer. These clubs were the gateway to an even more successful career as a football player, but no, I was not interested in any of their offers. Of course, the amount of numbers they were ready to count down for me was tempting, but I still was not interested. I was loyal to my club, the club where my career started, and I was about to stay in this club for as long as I want, because in this club I'm a legend. Look who's home. A voice said from behind me. I turned around and my dad came out of the backyard. If it isn't the king. I laughed. How have you been, old man? I see that you watch my games. He grumbled. I'm not old. And yes, I have been watching your games. Figured that since I couldn't convince you to study business administration, I might as well watch you perform your magic skills on the field. A small smile appeared on my face. Dad didn't like the idea of me becoming a professional football player. He wanted me to study business administration like him, but luckily Mom could convince him that I could become what I want. Good to know you like my skills, I said, laughing. I turned back to Amari. I haven't seen my baby sister in so long except for the occasional Skype calls. Can't believe you're a senior now, sis. I know, right? She said excitedly. I can't believe I'm going to Harvard next year. MMH. I murmured. Neither Dad or I liked the idea of her going to Harvard. There were so many universities in New York. Why in the name of all the gods did she choose one that was so far away from home? Even though it was only a 3-hour ride away from home, it was still far. We would actually go through with the plan of letting her stay in New York, but Mom happened. She somehow, with her magic words, convinced us in letting Amari go. Mom always knew how to make us agree to something. It's like she had a secret power to do it. Even Dad, who's always so stubborn and persistent, gets bewitched by her. How's that boyfriend of yours doing? I asked, grinning when Amari's eyes widened in shock. What's his name again? Zane. He's not my boyfriend, Millie Billy. She snapped, looking at Dad, who got his eyebrows raised. He's my boy best friend. Don't call me Millie Billy, that's an awful nickname. She smiled evilly at me. What you gonna do about that, Millie Billy? I glared at her as she stuck her tongue out at me. So mature. Are you hungry, Milan? Mom asked as she made her way to the kitchen, followed by Dad. I nodded my head. I'm starving. I left my luggage on the staircase and followed both my parents and Amari to the kitchen. I leaned on the kitchen counter as I watched Mom getting out the waffle maker. Does waffles sounds good to you? She asked. Everything sounds good to me right now. How's your girlfriend doing? My dad suddenly asked as he got a water bottle out of the storage. He opened it to take a sip of it. Which one? I asked, quirking an eyebrow up at him, making him choke on his water. He started to have a fit of coughing and my mom rushed towards him. Are you okay, honey? She asked, worried as she patted him on his back. I'm fine, pudding, he said, sending a deadly glare my way. What do you mean? Which one? Well, I drawled, if he really wanted to know. Do you mean Vanessa, Gina, Fiona? You are such a man-whore. Amari said icily. Language. Dad barked, but Amari seemed unfazed. MMH, maybe she is getting older. Young Amari would definitely flinch if Dad would slightly raise his voice at her. It's not good to be like that, Dad said, placing the water bottle on the counter. Look at me for instance, I was never like that. Mom cleared her throat. She turned around and held a spatula in her hand as she looked at Dad with raised eyebrows. Why the hell did she have a spatula in her hand when she was making waffles? Well, Dad smiled tightly at her. Pudding, I didn't have so many girlfriends. Mine were just flings, and they weren't even that much. Oh really? If I throw this spatula at you, maybe you will remember who Sarah, Zoe, Redhead, and God knows who else were. I looked at both my parents in amusement. Damn, Dad was wild. Dad sighed and scratched his head. Fine, what I meant to say was that mine were not even that serious. Mine are also not serious, Dad, I said, chuckling. I'm the king. Everyone wants to date the king, but I don't do that. And why not? Amari asked curiously. And that little sister is none of your business. Don't forget to vote and comment. 8. Coming soon, summer 2018. Amari Vasilios, Zane Shaw, August 15, 2018. Zane does not exist for me anymore, remember. I don't know why you are still holding a grudge against him. Was there more than just a friendship, something I don't know about? Angelica raised her eyebrows up at me. No, we were just friends. You know my parents, they were so strict. If Zane would make a move on me, I don't think his manhood would still be attached to his body. Angelica chuckled. Anyways, just go with the flow. It has been 5 years, Amari. You should learn to let things go. Do you really want to know the reason why I don't want to go back? I asked quietly. Enlighten me. Because after that night he didn't reach out to me. It's like he waited for it to happen. And that's why I don't want to see him ever again. He did not care one bit about me. Amari Vasilios, the CEO of the fast-growing advertising company in California, got her heart broken by her best friend 5 years ago. She never thought that out of all the people her best friend, Zane Shaw, would be the one who would break her heart first. Only because of a girl he had known for 4 months. She was livid and she still is. She ignored and tried to avoid him as much as possible, and for the past 5 years it worked. But now she's staring at the invitation letter in her hand. It was a wedding invitation from her brother and his fiancée. She had to go home. She had to go back to New York and attend the wedding. Attending the wedding means seeing him again. Attending the wedding means seeing the person she had successfully avoided for 5 years. Yasmin Shadid, Milan Vasilios. September 20, 2018. No, don't even think about it. I yelled out, mortified, trying to grab the laptop out of her hands. Already did it, babe. Whoops, you will be the future nutritionist of the Milan Vasilios. Ava snickered as she closed the laptop and looked up at me. TSSK, why so angry? I hook you up with a job so that you can go to college. Avalon Marie James. I cried out angrily, pulling furiously at my hair. What the fuck did you do? Oh my god, this is so bad. I don't even have a degree in nutrition. Ava just shrugged and gave me a smug smirk. Then you will just have to fake it until you make it. What? I swear Ava is getting crazier day by day. She rolled her eyes and explained. Eventually you will become a real nutritionist, if I remember it correctly. That is what you wanted to study a year and a half ago. Now, you will work for this hot man, get a fat paycheck for doing what? Preparing his food. The man needs to eat healthy. It's not hard, just use Google. And do you know what you can do with that fat paycheck? Yes, baby, you can go to college and major in health or nutrition. You will not really be a fake nutritionist, but more like a temporary fake nutritionist. Well, until you graduate. I massaged my head at her stupid way of seeing things. Your logic gives me a headache. He will never believe me. Oh, he will. Ava smirked evilly as she rubbed her hands together. After he will see your fake diploma and CV. Milan Vasilios. After being sick for a very long time, Milan Vasilios, the king of football, decided to hire a nutritionist who could prepare his food and advise him on his diet. During the selections, there was this particular nutritionist who stood out far above the others. He was impressed and didn't even bother to interview her. No, not at all. She got the job immediately, but little did he know. Yasmin Shadid. Ava exaggerated in the CV. There was not one truth in it, except for the fact that she graduated high school. Yasmin was positive that Milan Vasilios, the king of football, would never hire her. She was pretty sure there were tons of applications from real nutritionists. She would not stand a chance. After all, who wouldn't want to work for Milan Vasilios? The man was a god. The killer smile, muscular body, and the magic skills he possessed to use on the field and most likely also in bed. He was a heartbreaker, a Casanova, but damn, didn't girls throw themselves at him even though they know it would not last forever? So imagine what a surprise it had been when she received a call informing her that she was hired. Unfucking-lievable. Yasmin started to think that maybe everything will be alright. He hired her right. The hardest part is gone. What else can go wrong? But little did she know. 9.